Party people, welcome once again to the Party of One podcast, where the gaming table is always set for two. I am your host, as always, Jeff Stormer. This week I am joined once again by MC Blackwolf for some more of Jeremy Keller's Technoir. Blackwolf is, of course, a phenomenal Philly-based rapper whose EP, Redacted, is available on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, and more. You can check all of that out at mcblackwolf.com, a link to which can be found in the show notes. Before we dive in, a special thank you to Rob Aberzato and Andy Pisek, our newest backers on Patreon. Your support helps the show do bigger, better, and cooler things every single month, and I am deeply grateful. If you haven't checked out the Party of One Patreon lately, I think that you should. I think there's a lot of cool stuff for you to explore. For just $5 a month, you can get design blogs every time we play a game not designed for two players and how we sort of hacked it down to two players. You can get bonus audio with guests where we create characters, we discuss things behind the scenes. There are interviews about running D&D with two players coming out soon. You get to help decide the games that are played on the show, and more. I think it is worth your time and effort, especially if you're interested in how games are played with two and how games are adapted into a two-player format. I think you should check it out. Also, a brief announcement that I've set up a Teespring for a brief initial run of Party of One t-shirts. It's just a classic logo tee, available in a few colors in unisex and fitted styles. It's $18. It'll be available until the 20th. If that's something you're interested in, check the show notes for a link. Grab one, like I said, available on the 20th. I think they're pretty neat. I'm going to be grabbing one. Check it out. And with all that out of the way, let's throw it over to me in the past so he can get started with the show. Take it past me. Thanks, future me. This week I am joined once again by MC Blackwolf. Blackwolf, thanks so much for coming back on Party of One.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
I'm super excited. So we're once again playing Technoir. We are once again joining Carson the Blur in the neon-soaked streets of New Los Angeles, or of the Los Angeles sprawl. I am super excited to dive in. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
So, when we last left the Blur, it was a rough scene in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Lauren Truba, owner of the Troubadour. A local club owner, money lender, scumbag, had offered to pay off some of Carson's debts in exchange for Carson tracking down a Gat-O-Matic, a very nice machine pistol, which had been stashed near a murder scene by the docks. In tracking down this Gat-O-Matic, Carson crossed paths with members of the Sin Set, which are a gang of patchwork cybernetic gangsters that sort of rule the lower end of the city, the valley, if you will. In being chased by the Sin Set, Carson found out that, in fact, trusted friend P. Larson had been working with the Sin Set to provide low-income Los Angeles residents with cybernetic implants to help with medical concerns. The person that was killed was a medical partner of P. Larson's.
This was like a perfect storm of horrible coincidences.
It really was. Carson eventually handed the gun over to P. Larson, but not before being tracked down by two hitmen, Tom and Dick. They were quickly dispatched, handed off to the Sin Set, who said, and I quote, "You don't want to see what happens next," and Carson was sent on his way. Dropped the car off with Trisco Valdez, local chop shop owner, headed back to Lauren Truba, gave Lauren your gun, which was a Stinger pistol.
Right.
And left. We left. The closing shot of our previous episode was Lauren Truba unwrapping the gun, seeing that it was in fact just a Stinger and not a Gat-O-Matic, laughing, holding the gun as the sun rose through the smog of Los Angeles. It's a few days later.
Uh-huh.
What has Carson been up to in the last few days?
He reported his gun stolen.
Sure.
First and foremost, the moment that he realized, which I assume was probably 30 minutes later, he was like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah, you're driving down the highway, you're like, dang it.
I can't believe that all worked out. Oh, Carson, you idiot. And then he was like, "Okay, damage control. This dude will frame you for something. Report that gun stolen."
Yep, which is a smart plan, all things considered.
Right. And I guess he's probably checked in with P. Larson.
Yeah, she's doing good. She's doing well. The gun is gone. She's like, it's gone. I handed it off to one of the Synset guys. He left with it. It's gone. It's just gone.
Uh-huh.
But it's been quiet. You got a few phone calls the day of from Lauren. A few very angry voicemails.
Yeah.
As you could imagine. But you then got about a day later, you got a very friendly phone call that was to the effect of, "Hey, just wanted to say I heard about the robbery. I heard that you got your Stinger stolen. I'm real sorry about that. Why don't," and like a few like texts and messages of, "Hey, why don't you come down and we can see if anything happened to your Stinger." You ignored those because you don't want to die.
I think I probably at some point do respond to him, because I am loyal to him. Like, I was loyal to him.
Right.
And I just, like, say, I know that there's no way you'll understand, but there were extenuating circumstances, and I reported it stolen because I know you, Lauren, and you know I know you.
I'm actually going to ask for a roll for that, because I think no matter what, this is an interesting scenario. So we'll go through the whole action process up front.
So this would be like a coax, I guess?
Yeah. So the first thing you're going to do is recharge your push dice. So take all of the push dice that you have, and assemble a number of dice equal to the action dice equal to your coax verb. You can choose if you have any adjectives, objects, or tags to add those at the expense of using a push dice.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that I waited until he found out that the gun was stolen.
Sure, so about a day. Yeah, it's been about a day and a half.
Like when he starts messaging me with those, like I'm gonna use patience for that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll agree. I'll take that. Yeah.
And I'm gonna use one for the fact that I've always been loyal.
That's good. Yeah, perfect. You don't have any negative adjectives, so you don't need to take any hurt dice. Roll the dice, and you need to get. Let me pull up. Write that down real quick, and I'll tell you what you need to roll. Ooh, you need to roll a 4 or better.
Okay.
Or 4.1 or better, I should say.
So, 2 4s?
Yeah, 2 4s or a 5 or 6.
Or a 5. Oh, jeez. Okay, sure. Considerably more difficult. 2 3 5.
Great, you've succeeded. Now, how many push dice do you have left?
I have 1.
So you can decide to make this a fleeting, which is that he gets off your back for now. He'll probably still try to hound you about that debt, and he's certainly not going to forget that this happened. But honor among thieves,
right?
Or you can make it sticky, which is that for whatever comes next, he's not going to be an active antagonist.
I guess like I'm calling on his better nature. I'm gonna make it sticky then.
Okay, so I'm gonna take that dice from you, and just a brief hacking note that I've also given myself 2 push dice, just to sort of further push the economy of it, because that's one thing that I've noticed as from a 2-player perspective with Technoir.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So he kind of like. You explain to him what do you say to him that, like, you say there's extenuating circumstances?
Yeah, I basically say, I would never mean offense to you. There are extenuating circumstances that I cannot go into. The gun was not meant as an offense. I just know you, and you know that I know you. That's
the part that gets him laughing. Like, he says that and he's like, all right, you know what, that was pretty good. That's pretty, I credit where credit is due. You do know me. Because I was going to get you real bad with that gun.
Yeah, of course he was.
So, you know what? I'm gonna forgive but not forget.
Sure.
You screwed me over, I screwed you over, honor among thieves. We don't turn backs on each other, because we'll both probably kill the other person.
Sure.
That seems fair.
I just don't respond to that one.
Right.
Like, I sent him that one message, and then that's it for now.
And he sends you this over the course of, like, eight Twitter-directed, like, DMs.
Sure. He's that guy, yeah.
So, so things are okay. Things are okay with Lauren. Things are okay. So let me ask you, where are you when the earthquake hits?
Oh, jeez. I mean, I was probably driving.
Ooh.
Let's say I was going to Trisco, because I gave him a car to, like, get rid of.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Right? So, like, I didn't stay to get money or anything for that, but I'm sure I get, like, do I get money for that?
Yeah,
like,
you do. Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely.
So I'm assuming that I was going towards there.
Okay, yeah. So, the earthquake hits. It's larger than you're used to living in Los Angeles, but not catastrophic.
And keep in mind, I've been gone for a long time, so I'm really not used to it or expecting it.
Right, so you probably react worse to this than a lot of the people on the road.
Sure. Well, I do have, like, cyber arms and cyber eyes and reflex stimulators.
Yeah, so I imagine that Carson, like, goes into, like, Jason Statham bullet time mode, whereas everybody else just pulls over.
Right.
It's crazy. Everything starts shaking. But it stops after about, like, a minute.
Any visible damage?
You're on the highway, and you can look and see kind of the, some of the lower class, like, housing projects, like, some of the, like, fire escapes have fallen off a little bit, but they were kind of rusty and dingy anyway.
Sure. Okay.
So, like, about that level, where, like, stuff that was probably going to fall over eventually has been knocked over.
Okay.
So that happens. Everybody stops for a little while. You're in traffic for maybe, like, an hour as everybody kind of, like, figures out what they're doing. But you eventually get to Trisco's.
Okay.
Trisco greets you with, like, a warm smile, and he's like, "Hey, you're alive! That's good."
Yeah. It's for now.
I mean, and he kind of, like, I mean, I was just talking about the earthquake, but that's cool too. Whatever's up with you is great too.
Yeah. So, how you been, Trisco?
I've been all right. I've been good. So yeah, I got some money for you. For the job that we took care of, and he hands you we'll say 6 credits. He hands you 6 creds.
6 credits. Okay.
Yeah, because in fact, let me tell you exactly how many creds he hands you, because it's probably maybe more than that. Nope, 6 creds. 6 creds on the dot.
Okay.
Yeah. So he hands you 6 creds and says, "Here you go. It was not the nicest car. Like, it was pretty beat up, but we got some good out of it. Like, it'll do its job."
I'm gonna let's see. Like, Trisco is probably the type of person who would know where to get a gun, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm gonna ask for a roll, because I think it's not so much whether or not he knows, it's he won't talk about it unless you are clever. He's very dead set on keeping things looking as legit as possible.
Sure.
So we'll call this a coax roll. You've got all your push dice back.
Okay. So, we're affectionate, right? That's the thing I have for him. So I'm gonna, because I said we were, like, basically cousins. Like, we grew up together.
Yeah.
But I left for a long time, so we're not, like, super close now, but we were. I'm also going to try to use patience again. I feel like I'm pretty patient.
I I am actually going to make this a little more difficult and give you
Okay.
that push dice back.
Okay.
And I'm going to say it's because he is... Because you're at work, he is distracted, I will say.
Oh, okay.
He's not paying super close attention, so, like, you're probably laying down some, like, lingo that he's just not picking up on.
Right. Okay. I think I'm trying to, like, be like, yeah, so you know how I said I wasn't dead yet?
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, earthquake, I heard, they're saying in the news it was like a 3-1 or something. It's crazy. What a weird day.
Sure. You know, it just kind of stingers. Like, you know, sometimes.
Yeah, so make me that roll with that many dice. You want to get do you want to get a 4.1 or better?
Okay. 336.
All right. So, yeah. So eventually, after some time, he picks up on it. Do you want this to be fleeting, sticky, or permanent?
I have all of my push dice back because you gave me one there.
But you use 2 of them for, so you have.
Oh,
so
right.
you're
So
down
I have
2.
one. I'm down to 1 that I can use right now. So,
And this is like in the know or something.
right. I'm gonna. What do you mean? Sorry. What do you mean in the know?
Like he knows where you would go for this sort of thing. Like, or he's willing to share the deets, I'll say.
Yeah, I don't think if I just need the information, like I don't need it to be sticky or anything,
I think
right?
fleeting
Like,
is fine. Yeah, I think just briefly kind of picking up on it, kind of looks around, kind of leans in, and is like, "Okay, are you?" He leans in. Are you hinting? Are you dropping hints right now? It sounds like you're dropping hints about something. Just level with me if you're dropping hints.
I was dropping hints.
Okay. I just wanted to check. I just needed to make sure.
Okay.
And he rolls it. He kind of he scribbles down a note and he hands it to you. Just as 2 policemen walk in.
Okay. Do I see what he wrote?
Yeah. It's actually, let me tell you exactly. It is, he wrote down Sid Martini and like a phone number.
So, I'm going to use my cyber eye to just record it.
Okay, sure.
Is there this is like a garage, right?
Yeah.
Is there any I'm trying to think, I was thinking paper shredder, that's not something that would be at a garage, but any kind of fire or
there's fire, there's, yes, to answer the question of whether or not you can destroy this, there's a few kind of radiators almost that you could throw it in. There's some cans of oil or lacquer that you could kind of toss it in that it would get sizzled up.
Sure.
You destroy the paper pretty easily.
Okay. So I'm just I'm going to So are the cops are coming in, are they are they just looking at us?
They're walking in and they kind of walk up to the front desk. You're kind of behind the front desk where the cars are.
Okay.
They walk up to the front desk and they start talking to the front desk to the receptionist, and he points in Trisco's direction and in your direction, and they start heading towards the 2 of you.
So when they're talking to the front desk guy, I'm gonna take advantage for that moment to without saying anything to him, just kind of pull the paper from where he's writing.
Yeah, sure. He he kind of he picks up on what you're doing and puts his hand up and kind of gestures towards a space heater.
Yeah, and then I'm just going to I'm gonna put it in this on right on the space heater. As long as it's whatever the closest thing is.
Yeah.
And if there's not something too close, I'll just put it in a pocket. If there's a desk thing between us, they won't they probably won't see that.
Either way, I'm gonna ask for a roll.
Okay, sure.
This is gonna be a prowl roll.
Prowl. Yeah.
Good. This is going to be a prowl roll. This one I'm going to give you a push dice for because I'm going to bump up the difficulty on it. Actually, no, I don't think I have to. Yes, I do. I do have to. So I'm going to give you a push dice.
Okay.
I'm going to bump this difficulty up. You need to get a 5.1 or better.
5.1 or better. Okay. So I'm going to use Ace.
Okay.
I feel like this is an Ace maneuver.
Yeah. Oh, this is definitely an Ace move. Absolutely.
And I'm going to also use a second one, which is for Fast.
Okay. Yeah, Fast. That's perfect.
So that's 3. I only have 1 for Prowl, so. And I have to beat you said 5.1?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So 2 5s or a 6.
Alright. No, I got a 5, a 1, and a 3.
Alright. So, you move for the space heater. You throw it in the space heater, it kind of burns up a little bit, it starts to smoke. And the detective walks up, points at the space heater, and says, "Heater's on the fritz. You're a repairman, you should probably look at that."
I'm just gonna like hit the space heater like I'm trying to fix the space heater.
And he's just watching you real intently. As he says, "Trisco Valdez? Yeah, what's going on? What's the problem?" My name's Detective Carson. This is Officer Dent and Himley. Are you aware of a Tom Robertson or a Richard Hunt? And Trisco looks around him and he goes, "No, they were like low rent security personnel, freelancers. Yeah, they've been found dead, and the record of one of the cars that you impounded last week matches up with it. Any idea where that car came from?" Trisco gets real red in the face.
Now, at this point, I'm a little upset because I told him that it was hot.
Yo, I'm sure, yeah, you did.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Frankly, he's not the brightest.
Well, yes, actually, you know what? No, you should be a little surprised, though, because you did say it was hot. So that's a little weird. And, in fact, Coulson Trisco kind of gets red in the face, and he kind of putters out, "I didn't report a car." And Coulson kind of, smiles a little bit. Says, "Well, there was a reported sighting that there was a car in your lot that matched the description, and one of our guys made a note of that, probable cause and all that." And he kind of starts to lean in, and that's when you notice that Dent, and he's a big ox of a man. Dent is leaning against the front door of the garage.
Uh-huh.
And Coulson is kind of smiling and starting to lean in a little bit, starting to give that LBJ kind of lean in, intimidate effect.
Uh-huh.
As he's explaining, yeah, we kind of made note of it. So, any idea where that car came from? And he kind of, his eyes ever so briefly drift in your direction and then drift right back on Trisco.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So what do you do in this scenario?
I make it seem like he's embarrassed to talk about it in front of me.
Oh, that's clear.
He looked at me I can't talk to you about it with him in here. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I just, got distracted. I'm being so rude. Let me get out of you guys' hair.
Yeah. So, make me a roll for that. Recharge your push dice. And this is going to be a coax roll.
Okay.
Any tags you want to add to that?
Alright. So, now, am I rolling to coax them or to coax him?
You're rolling to coax.
To convince them.
You're rolling to convince the detective, yeah.
Okay.
Because the detective is the one that's going to let you out of the room.
Sure. So, I'm going to...
You want to get a 3.1 to fleeting, to give him a fleeting convinced.
Sure.
4.1 because I'm gonna discharge that other push dice.
Okay. I can't think of something that like I'm looking at my things, like anything that would add
Okay.
to a situation where I'm talking to the police.
Okay.
Courier pilot, patient. I mean, I guess I'm patient. I probably don't break a sweat. Like I'm not. Like I don't sit there and like try to rush out. Like
I'll say that's either patient or ace. Yeah, I feel like so you can get 1. I'll give you 1 for that.
Fair. All right.
But beyond that, I think that's probably all you've got.
Sure. And you said it's 4.1?
4.1 or better.
You know what? I feel like I'm going to lose this one. I'm not going to use a push dice because I'm going to need it to get away.
Okay.
All right, 4.1. All right. It all comes down here. So basically 5, since I'm only rolling 1 dice.
Yes, you need to get a 5 or better. 5 or 6.
Right. 4.
Excellent. You try to excuse yourself, and you kind of like step through. Coulson kind of like chuckles a little bit and lets you walk by, but Dent is still in the doorway. This big burly like brick house of a dude, and he kind of like he's been leaning against the doorway in that real shitbag corrupt cop kind of way. He kind of kicks off of the door and starts like moving towards you. So he's in fact going to try to put an adjective on you.
Okay.
Which is restrained. I'm going to go for restrained. I don't have any push dice at the moment, so it's just going to be a roll. What is your fight or your move, whichever's higher?
Fight is 2.
Okay.
Move is 1, so fight is 2.
Okay. Good. This will be fun. Mm-hmm. Let me double check exactly how reactions work, because I want to make sure I do this exactly right.
Right, like is there a saving throw type thing? Like can I boost my fight or move or anything with like my reflex stimulators? Or is it you only boost things when you're rolling the dice?
Oh, you can actually, yes. Thank you. That is how it works. You have all of those push dice that you didn't use in that last roll.
Yeah, okay.
You can discharge them. You can temporarily discharge them to increase the difficulty on this fight roll.
Okay.
I'm going to be rolling 3 dice, just as a heads up.
Okay. I'm going to use, I have 2, so I'm going to use my reflex stimulators to add another one.
Okay.
I'm going to use fast.
Okay.
And I guess he's trying to grab my arms, and I have cyber arms, like... And they're, like, not obvious cyber arms, right?
Yeah, I'll totally count that. Yeah, absolutely. Totally count that.
So 4.
Okay, yeah, so 4. I gotta get a 4.1 or better.
And you're rolling how many dice?
3 dice.
Oh, jeez.
I got a 4, a 6, and a 2.
Oh, no.
Now, I don't have any dice to burn. I can't make
you can't make it... So it's just fleeting.
Yeah. So it's just fleeting. So he grabs you. I think he grabs you and is surprised at how strong your arm is.
Right. I also don't have push dice now.
Right. Unless you want to try to put an action on him or an adjective on him.
Well, you said he's surprised. So I'm going to try to push the adjective of prone. Like I'm going to try to push him down. Like I'm going to try to
great.
Knock him down.
That's great. You've got all your push dice.
Okay. So fight I have 2.
Okay.
And then cyber arm. And I guess this would work with ace.
Yeah, I'll count that.
All right. So that's 4.
Okay.
And what am I trying to beat?
Let me tell you real quick. You're trying to beat a 3.1 or better.
Okay. I may have overkilled this. 3362.
Perfect. You, do you have any dice left to make this anything other than fleeting?
I have one more. I'm gonna try to push it.
Okay. So this is a sticky. So it goes from being prone to being, concussed is a good one.
Okay.
For something that's gonna linger. What do you do to him that, like, knocks him in the head and dazes him?
I actually feel like I just, like, push him.
Okay.
Right? Like, but I probably, remember I said, like, oh, I think this might be overkill. Like, the cyber arms are kind of new. I, like, push him really hard against the wall without thinking, you know?
Yeah, the hard concrete wall kind of crumbles a little bit, and he just, like, falls forward and is like, ow, ow, ow.
And I bolt. Like, probably part of the reason that I overshot was because I'm, like, out the door. Like, I pushed him in that direction and then just, like, bolt.
Sure. So, Himley and Coulson run after you.
Sure.
And,
I hope the guy that's concussed is driving.
You get to your car. Like, you get to your car, and Trisco is already in the driver's seat.
Okay.
Or he's in the passenger seat, rather. And he's like, just drive.
Oh, he's in my driver's seat?
Yeah, like, he bolted just as fast. No, he's in your passenger seat, sorry.
Okay, yeah, I understand. For some reason I thought Trisco was the name of the other officer, and I was like, geez, like, that's... He just, like, poof, and, like, poof.
Well, see, this is when it turns out that it's actually a Terminator game, and that he's the T-1000.
Oh, no. No, I just, like, I kick it. I just drive my Prius, my fake Prius Goblin, like, as fast as I possibly can to get out of there.
Alright. So give me a roll to try to evade them in the car. I've got one dice. I am definitely going to use it.
Are they... Like, so one of them is, like, you said concussed, so is he, like, unconscious?
Yeah, he is. So, you can see in your rearview mirror that Himley, which is the other, like, beat cop, he's a spindly little guy. He looks like he should be a desk cop. Okay. He is in the driver's seat. He's driving, and then Coulson, he's the older, the detective, the plainclothes, is in the passenger seat with his gun in hand.
Okay, so he already got in the car. I was thinking that, I don't have a gun. I was gonna say I'm gonna shoot out the tires of the cop car as we drive by it, but that's not an option.
Yeah, no, that's not an option.
I guess while I'm driving, I just asked Trisco, do you have a gun?
Let me actually check if he does or not. He might. He does have a gun.
I just, like... when he shows it to me, I just, like, grab it and try to shoot out the cop car's tires as we drive off.
Make me that roll. That's going to be a shoot roll. It is going to be...
Shoot. I have one for shoot.
It is going to be against a difficulty of 3.1. I'm going to make it 4.1 and spend that dice to make it more difficult.
Okay, and now so I have 3 now?
Yeah.
I have my 3 push dice? Okay. This is a driving thing?
Yeah, this is a shooting roll, yeah.
But I mean, like, I'm, like, driving, shooting out the tires, it seems like an ace maneuver to me.
Oh, this is definitely an ace maneuver. Oh, yeah. Sure. Now I see yes.
So, cyber arms as well? And
I'll count it.
And my, and I'm gonna keep one because I'm gonna try to make the shooting out their tires sticky.
Okay, you want to get a 4.1.
Okay, on 3 dice. Here we go. 4, 3, 2. Just missed it.
Okay. So you're shooting, and Coulson gets on the horn and is like, "Stop opening fire! Stop resisting arrest! Pull over the car!" And Trisco's like, "If you pull over this car, they won't have a chance to kill you because I will kill you.
I'm already I was still I was shooting out their tires, hoping I would shoot out their tires. But now that I have shot at police, I am not staying there. Mind you, this is my character. I would never shoot at police.
Of course.
Just let's get that on the. All right.
Good thing to put on record.
To be fair, I wouldn't shoot at anyone, so the whole thing is suspect. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna try to head jack into my GPS thing and find a clear route.
Sure.
Oh geez, where am I even going? Do I have I just asked Trisco, I'm like, do you have a safe house?
He says no. He's scrambling, he's scrambling, and he says, and he looks at you and says, no, but, well, a safe house, you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it.
What is it?
I know of a safe house.
But?
It's kinda outside of Vegas.
Okay.
We need to get to LAX.
To an airport?
It's a short flight.
Okay.
But
are we leaving the country here?
No, but do you think that you can beat this drive? Do you think you can beat these cops the whole drive?
Oh, 100% I can.
Okay, then Godspeed. Then let's drive.
If I'm not good at driving, my character was built wrong.
Okay, yeah, then that's fair.
Now I say that to him, meaning the blur.
Yeah. He sits there for a second and looks at you, and he's like, "Oh, because the cyber. I got you. Yeah, I got you."
Yeah.
Oh, poor Trisco. He's a good guy. He's just
affectionate.
He's just not the quickest on the uptake.
No. Okay.
So. Okay, yeah. So you're driving. Make me a drive roll to try to evade. Actually, they're going to try to put one on you.
Okay.
And I've got a dice, so I'm going to up this difficulty as they are. They are gunning it now to try to cut you off or at least ram you off the road.
Okay.
So you want to beat a 4.1 on a drive roll.
Okay. Now.
Or an operate roll, rather. Sorry.
Operate. Okay, operate. All right. So I get 1 for operate. I have pilot.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And I am now protecting Trisco, so I'm going to use bodyguard.
I'll take that.
And, you said I have to beat a 4.1, right?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. If I use all 3 of them, I don't get to make it, stick. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna use 3.
Okay.
Alright, 4.1. We can do this. 652.
Oh, beautiful. So is this fleeting or sticky?
I'm gonna stick that one.
Okay. So you are driving.
Yeah.
You pull some stunts on the highway that are remarkable.
Sweet.
You get onto the highway, they cannot find you, especially with the post-earthquake traffic.
Yeah, sure.
You know just the way to take it so that you can get through, but they can't.
Well, I have Waze in my head, Jack.
Yeah. So you're driving for a little while.
Uh-huh.
However, what happens is you realize that your car is very low, that the car is very low on gas. It's been a rough couple of days.
It has been a rough couple of days. Okay.
So you're going to have to...
How low am I?
You're pretty the light has just turned on.
Okay, so I can still go, a little ways.
Yeah.
I just can't, But, so, when I made it sticky that we're away from
Yeah,
from
they're in traffic. They are swamped.
Okay, I'm going to like lose them,
Okay.
right? And then
Yeah.
go get gas.
Okay. So you pull off the highway. You pull into a gas station.
You know what?
Is...
This is what I'm going to actually say this. Instead of losing them and going to get gas, I'm going to lose them, and then we are going to steal a different car.
Okay, that actually works just as well.
Yeah, I'm going to, like, leave it in, like, if... I'm going to try to find, like, a place that has, like, a parking garage.
Sure. You find a parking garage pretty easily, yeah.
Okay. As long as it's not, like, the one that... at Trouba Tower, at the Troubadour.
It is not. It is not. It
Okay.
is just it is just on, like, somewhere random in town.
Okay.
You pull off
I'm
the
gonna,
highway
like,
and find a parking garage.
put it somewhere in the middle. Keep my ticket to remember where it is.
Cool.
But then take all of my stuff, like my title and everything.
Yeah, right. So they can't trace it.
And I'm gonna park it backwards so that my license plate is against the wall.
That's smart.
And then I'm gonna remove the license plate.
Oh, I like that.
Like, just in case, I'm also gonna remove the license plate.
Okay, so all of this, I am going to ask for another roll
Okay.
to essentially cover your tracks.
Sure.
I have to decide what I think this would be. What do you think this would
Like,
be?
I guess it's prowl, right? Like, that's
Yeah,
it's
I'll
like
call it
hidey type, sneaky type thing.
That's what I was leaning for. So we'll call it that.
Alright. And I feel like this fits under the pilot.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like a piloting maneuver, and I'm gonna use fast. I'm still missing my one push dice because I made the other thing sticky. So I have 3.
Yeah.
And what do I have to beat?
You have to beat. This is going to be a. I'm going to. Oh no, this is going to be a 4.1.
Okay. 1, 2, 1.
Beautiful. So I'm going to give you back this push dice.
Okay.
And I'm going to put a negative adjective on you that is sticky.
Okay.
That lingers until you get it taken care of.
Okay.
And that sticky is wanted.
Yeah.
Because you take care of all of this, and you start to leave, and of all things, there is that you have happened to come upon one of the only parking garages left that has an attendant.
Okay.
Like in the front.
Sure.
Sees you, screams, gets on her phone, and is like, it's that guy that just came onto the wanted report.
Damn it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we run.
Okay. So you bust out running.
Yeah. I'm actually, you know what? Instead of, I'm going to run to the nearest car.
Okay.
And then I'm going to have Trisco break into it.
Sure. I'll say that just happens because he's very good at this.
Right, and then start the car. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure he can do that as well.
Yeah.
And then I'll drive it.
Okay. Then make me another operate roll, and this time you're going to add a hurt dice to your action.
What does a hurt dice mean?
A hurt dice cancels out the highest dice result that you get.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Because you have a negative adjective, which applies to the situation, which is that you are wanted. The cops are actively looking for you.
That makes sense. All right. So I'm going to use pilot, and ace.
Okay. Or rather, no. What a hurt dice does is I'm going to roll it, and whatever number I roll, it cancels that out. Anything that matches the hurt dice gets destroyed.
Okay. And so what do I have to...
I rolled a 1. You're fine.
Okay, and what do I have to beat?
You have to beat, for this, we'll say it's going to be a... I think 3.1. No, 4.1.
4.1? Okay.
Yeah.
446.
Beautiful, you got it.
Okay.
Sticky, fleeting, or permanent.
And now this is, to just basically get away from this place, I'm going to make this one fleeting.
Okay. So you move through.
And make sure that she sees what car I was in. Like,
she does.
Like I did it right in front of her.
Okay, yeah, so she's, like, taking down the license plate and, like, pulling up the data file when the person put in the key card.
Right.
She's got all of the information on
the moment we are out of the parking garage, I'm going to I'm going to, like, pull into an alley and then just, like, have us get out of the car and steal a different car.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Okay.
Okay, so you steal a second car. What car is this one?
This one is a minivan.
Okay, you steal an old minivan.
Yeah. And then I do not drive it fast.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to have Trisco drive it.
Okay.
And just, like, drive it as nonchalantly as possible. And I'm, like, because she said it's him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're not even looking for, it looks like they might not be looking for Trisco, they're looking for me. I'm the one who shot at cops.
Sure.
Makes sense. Like, I'm not saying that's unreasonable. I'm just saying, I'm going to chill in the back of the van, though.
Okay, that's fantastic. Then, so what happens, is you're driving for a while, you're on the outskirts of town.
I'm watching Finding Nemo in the backseat.
You're watching Finding Nemo 3?
Yeah, Finding Nemo 3, yeah.
You get right to the part where all of Smash Mouth makes a cameo, and you're like, that's a weird decision for Pixar to make.
Yeah. Yep.
And the van slows to a halt.
What's
and then
up?
sort of lurches forward a little bit. And Trisco just starts stammering, like, checkpoint, oh god.
I say, Trisco, you don't speak English.
C.
And I just, like, hide under the back, like, under the
Okay.
backseat thing.
Make me a prowl roll.
Okay.
And add anything you want to it. I think you have all your dice.
So prowl, I'm going to, reflex stimulators, like, I do it, like, quickly.
Sure.
And, fast.
Sure.
And I guess, like, yeah, that's fine. I don't want to use too many because I want to be able to make something sticky if I need to.
Sure. You want to get a 3.1, so it's not super difficult either.
Okay. Oh, the one that stopped rolling was last was a 5, but it was a 1 and a 2. I was like,
right on that fence.
It's but a 5.
Happens exactly the way that you think it would. You are perfectly still. You can't see anything, and the blanket is pretty thick. It's one of these, like, utility blankets.
Sure.
So, like, you hear muffled speaking, but you can't get a real good picture on, like, what's happening.
Right.
But the car starts moving. You drive right through the checkpoint. It takes a while because you were a few cars back, so it's a real long affair.
That's alright, I'm patient.
Yeah. So you drive through. You look up, and you are a ways into the desert.
Okay.
You're outside of town, like you've made it out of town.
Okay.
You drive for a while.
Okay.
Trisco starts to calm down a little bit.
Good.
Seems like he might be okay.
And when I come back, like, as I notice that he's, like, stressed out, I'm like, you did so good, buddy! Like,
he's like, he kind of, like, blushes and is like, I did pretty good. I did pretty good.
I'm like, we got away from cops. They were right there.
He's like, he starts laughing about it, and he starts being like, did you get earlier, you got earlier that I was talking about a gun, though? Like, you got that I was trying to give you in the name of a gun dealer?
Yes, I did. That's why I got rid of the number so quickly.
Good. I was hoping we were on the same page for that.
Well, I'm guessing if he's a well-known gun dealer, they probably know who he is, whether they can prove it or not.
That's fair. So, you drive for a while.
Okay.
You drive, he pulls up to...
I'm gonna check while we're driving, I'm gonna check my, through my head jack, just check to see if there's, if there's any chatter, or, police chatter or anything about me.
Call that a hack roll to get,
Okay.
overheard. It's gonna be pretty easy. It's gonna be a 2.1 or better, so you might not need to use anything, or...
Well, I don't have any dice in hack.
Okay.
So I will use my head jack.
Yeah.
And my cyber eye.
Okay.
And I can still do these rolls if I don't have dice, but if I can do
Yeah.
other
You
stuff,
you just have to use things, yeah.
Okay. So,
Or wait, no, you automatically have 1 dice in that, just because everything has 1 dice in it.
Okay. So is the 1 a 2?
Yes, actually, you know what? That should be a 2. Everything should be up 1 higher. So you've been playing at a disadvantage this entire time.
Well, I just leveled up.
You leveled up pretty considerably.
It's like I just leveled up. No, that's fine. I'm not going to complain. I've had, pretty lucky dice rolls, I feel.
You've been doing pretty well.
There was, 1 or 2 really important ones, like the one where I was trying to shoot the cops' tires.
Yeah.
Where... okay, so hack, I'm rolling 1, and then I'm going to use the head jack and the... I guess I'm just going to use the head jack, because, I'm just trying to see, the big news.
Yeah.
I got a 6 and a 3.
Beautiful. Perfect. Fleeting, sticky, or permanent?
I'm going to just say fleeting.
Yeah. Okay. You are, the 6th thing that you heard.
Okay.
It's literally... there's earthquake-related stuff. Somehow, maybe a house collapsed. It's there's a few different things, and also a gangbanger tried to open fire and fled, but he's a small fry. He's nobody of note. And it was Coulson, so he was probably asking for it a little bit.
Uh-huh.
You get the sense that Coulson is not particularly well-liked and has a reputation.
Okay. And they did not say my name, which is the most important part, and they think I'm a gangbanger, so that's cool.
Yeah. So you pull into, a diner gas station.
Okay.
And it's, maybe a couple hours out of town. You've been driving for a while. The sun is setting now.
Okay.
You drive in, Trisco is welcomed by, a young redheaded woman from behind the counter. She kind of, hops the counter, gives him a big hug. He's like, "This is my niece, Carol Ann. Carol Ann, this is Blur." He likes to be called the Blur.
Hey.
And he gives you a nod, yeah, I got it.
I just kind of acknowledge her, but I don't really... My guy doesn't talk too much.
Sure. He's like, so this, and she's like, "Hey, can we crash in the back for, I don't know." He looks at you I don't know, a couple days?
A couple days should be good.
So he kind of looks back and he's like, "Yeah, so we need to crash for a couple days? Is that?" And she's like, "Oh, you're, mi casa su casa. You're more than welcome." And he opens up, there's a little tiny, 1-bedroom, apartment set up all the way in the back.
Okay.
And they're like, "Yeah, so you can crash here for a few days. The heat should die down, I assume. Or maybe it doesn't."
Okay.
But everything, yeah, so you hide out, and I think that's where we're going to call it.
Okay.
I feel pretty good. I feel like that's a good ending point.
Yeah, that was good.
You got out of town safely, you dodged the cops.
Yes.
Actually, no, I know exactly where to end it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So you hide out for a couple days, you're checking the scanner a couple times a day. And they're still "Yeah, we're still looking for the guy that opened fire on Coulson. He's saying that we gotta devote all of our resources to it, but there was just an earthquake, and the chances are good that the kid is either out of town or dead. Let's not kid ourselves.
Uh-huh.
And so eventually it dies down. Like, you maybe hear about it 3 or 4 times on the first day, then maybe once or twice on the second day, then once on the third day, then 4th, 5th day. By a week, nothing. They've moved,
Okay.
The city has moved on.
Okay.
The closing note is you get a text from Lauren Truba
Uh-huh.
that just says it's actually a picture
Uh-huh.
of Detective Coulson, and he looks haggard.
Okay.
He looks like he has not been at the top of his game for about a week.
Okay.
Like, he has been going, perhaps chasing a case more aggressively than he should.
Uh-huh.
You get a text from Truba that just says, it's a picture of him, and his suit's real worn and stained, and he's got a beard, or he's got like a week of beard growth, and he's like, this dude stopped by asking about you. I didn't tell him. ... Winky face.
Ugh.
And he says, I will see you on Monday.
Oh, no. Yep.
And that's game.
Yeah. This game, man.
I love it. I love it to death.
It's so dark. It's like... It's not so much adventures as it is, this is, like, when you're reading a film noir, it's one thing where you're like, man, this character's so cool and all these awful things keep happening to them. But when you're, like, there trying to make the decisions and you're like, oh, I feel like I got out of this situation pretty well, and then it's like, nope, this other thing, like, it's good. I like it.
Yeah, it's real good. It's fantastic. Like, it plays noir the best of anything that I've seen. Of, like, really honestly, like, terrible people making like, unwinnable decisions. It's real good. It's real good at what it does.
The worst of 2 bad decisions.
It is real good at what it does.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming back on the show. This was awesome.
Absolutely, man.
So real quick, where can people find your work online?
MCBlackwolf.com, Twitter.com/MCBlackwolf, Instagram.com/MCBlackwolf, Facebook.com/MCBlackwolf. You can just basically put MC Blackwolf anywhere. Spotify, iTunes.
I appreciate that level of owning it. I appreciate the consistency.
Yeah, you got to.
So I'm going to throw it over to me in the future so that he can wrap up with the show.
Alright.
Take it, future me. Thanks, Past Me, and thanks again to Blackwolf for coming onto the show. I love this game, I love this ongoing storyline, and I'm so happy that we got to revisit it. You should absolutely check out MCBlackwolf.com, you should absolutely check out Redacted, and you should absolutely be a fan of MC Blackwolf, because he is great, and his music is great, and I think that you're going to love it. You should also follow MC Blackwolf on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, etc. at MC Blackwolf. And speaking of social media, you should follow this show at Party of One Pod on Twitter, like the show at Facebook.com/PartyOfOnePodcast. And if you enjoyed the show, consider leaving us a nice iTunes review, a social media shout-out, or a word-of-mouth recommendation. Telling a friend about the show is the easiest and quickest way to help the show grow and achieve bigger, better, and cooler things. If you want to hear more from me, check out All My Fantasy Children, the podcast in which Aaron Catano and I take your listener prompts and turn them into beautiful, thriving role-playing game characters. This week, we created a character named Ravenspire, a punk rock gnome who has an unfortunate run-in with, well, I don't want to spoil things, but it gets pretty great. Check that out at soundcloud.com/allmyfantasychildren. A link can be found in the show notes. Party of One is produced and edited by Jeff Stormer and Jen Frank. All music for the show comes from the song Infinite Lives by Megaran featuring the D&D Sluggers. If you'd like to inquire about advertising rates or about coming onto the show, shoot me an email at partyofonepodcast@gmail.com. That's it for me. Until next time, thank you for listening. Remember to fight the forces of fascism every single day, and party on.
Never gonna die.